Hi everyone, I hope everybody is doing well and welcome to another Tango technique class. In previous classes we have been working with basic movements like change of weight, crosses, steps forward, back, side, pivots in both directions, more or less individually. In this class and in the classes that follow, we will combine these basic movements into short sequences, and then we will change directions, we will change sides, we will change feet, in order to find as many combinations and possibilities with these basic movements. This is my method, this is how I work when I train Tango technique. I start with a few basic movements, I put them in a sequence, and then I try to go systematically through every possible combination I can find with those movements. The point of this method is that later, when you go dancing and you do any arbitrary figure, the movements that you need and the combination of movements that you need to do that figure correctly already feels familiar because you have found it before and you have practiced it before, yeah? And that's going to be good for you. So what we will do today is we will start with a warm-up today with a new exercise for our hips, and then we will use a very simple structure which is starting from zero position, step forward, change weight, step back, change weight, yeah, very simple, forward, change weight, back, change weight, of course with both legs, forward, change weight, back, change weight, and then we will combine this with crosses, different crosses, forward, crossing back, in zero position, different sides, and then we will find lots of combinations with these movements which will be very useful, okay? So I hope you like it, and let's go for the warm-up. Okay, warm-up. So we will start with a new exercise that hopefully will improve your posture. And this will be an exercise for your hip, to learn to place the hip correctly. So you need a wall for this exercise. I'll use this one. First, open your hands, put them in front of you like this, and put them on the wall. You should have a distance between your hands more or less a little bit more than your shoulders. You should also open your feet more or less shoulder wide, yeah? And then just step a bit away from the wall so that you can bend the torso forward like this. Put your hands above your head, yeah? Put your head between your arms more or less. And then the exercise is like this. We're going to tilt the hip outside, backwards, and then we will tilt it inside, forward, okay? Outside, backward, and inside. We will do this 16 times. Let's do it together. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and, okay? Now we will repeat this exercise but standing without the wall. So for this one, place your hands behind your head and use this movement in order to lift your rib cage away from your hip, yeah? So that you free your waist. This area is free and you can move your hip better, okay? And you should also keep your feet a bit open, same width as your shoulders. And then we will do the same thing. I will show you on profile so you can see it better. We will tilt the hip backwards, outside, and then inwards to the front, okay? Let's do this 16 times. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and. Okay? Good. So now we will do the rest of the exercises, which will be the same as what we have been doing before, but for each exercise don't forget your hip. Try to have your hip always placed inside, yeah? Try to tilt it forward and keep this position meanwhile you do the rest of the exercises. So we will continue by putting our legs together, feet in zero position, and then we will do shoulder rotations, yeah? Remember, relax the shoulders and keep your elbows straight. Place your hip, and then we do 8 shoulder rotations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we will do 8 circles with the arms. Remember to stretch your elbows and keep the shoulders down, and open the chest when you open the arms, okay? Remember your hip, yeah? Keep it always tilted forward. Let's do 8 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we do 4 stretches of our side, yeah? Remember, we lift down our arm until it looks up, then we slide the hand that is on the leg down until we can touch the side of our knee, more or less. We hold this stretch for a few seconds, and then we use the hand that is up to pull ourselves up again. And then we drop the arm and we do it to the other side, okay? And during the whole exercise, don't forget to keep your hip tilted forward, okay? So let's start. 1, down, and up. And 1, down, and up. 2, down, and up. 2, down, and up. 3, down, and up. Don't forget your hip. 3, down, and up. And the last one, 4, down, and up. 4, down, and up. Okay? The next exercise is rotations for the middle, for the torso. So we open the legs, we bend the knees slightly, we make a circle with our arms in front of us, and we rotate the torso relaxed, left and right. We do it 16 times. During the exercise, keep your hip tilted forward. Okay? Let's do it together. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Okay. For the next one, we stretch the knees, but we keep the hip tilted forward, and then we place our hands behind our head again, and then we bend forward until our back is parallel with the floor, and then we continue going forward, going down, and then we bounce 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then we go up. Yeah? So I will show you on profile. Keep your legs straight, your hip tilted forward, and then let's do 8 together. 1, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 2, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 3, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 4, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 5, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 6, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. 7, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. And 8, parallel, 1, 2, 3, parallel, and up. Okay, for the next one, we will keep the legs open, we grab our hip, and then we go back with the hip, and then we will do circles with the hip. We go to the side, feel the stretch on the inside of the leg that is extending, then go forward with the hip, then go to the other side. Now you should feel the stretch on the inside of this leg, and then go back, yeah, for a full circle. And during the whole time, try to keep your hip well placed, tilted inwards. Don't tilt it backwards like this, yeah? Keep it inwards. Okay, so let's start. Let's do 8 circles in each direction. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and change direction. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Okay, and now for the last one, we close our legs. And this exercise is to strengthen our foot joint, yeah, and our lower leg in general. So remember, keep your hip well placed, tilt it forward, and then grab your hips, bend your knees, and bounce 3 times in this position, very relaxed. Then stretch your knees, and then go up on the toes, yeah. Remember, don't let your feet open like this. This is very bad. Keep your feet straight and together, okay? And when you are going up, remember to keep your hip tilted forward, yeah? And then go down and repeat 8 times. Let's do it together. So place your hip and go down and bounce 3 times. 1, and go up and down. 2, and go up and down. 3, and go up and down. 4, and go up and down. 5, and go up and down. 6, and go up and down. 7, go up and down. 8, go up and down. Okay, that was the warm-up. Let's start with the first exercise. Okay, for the first exercise we will use a very simple step structure, which is just going forward, then changing weight, going back, changing weight. going forward, changing weight, going back, changing weight. Of course, we will do it with both legs. So in this movement, you are always going to have a leading leg, the leg that goes forward, and then a following leg, the leg that follows, going forward or going back. If I show you from behind, if you go forward with the right leg is your leading leg, because it's the first leg that goes forward, and then the left leg is the following leg, because it follows the right leg going forward. Then you change weight, and then the right leg is the leading leg, because it's going back first, and then the left leg is the following leg, because it's following the movement backwards. And then you change weight. Okay? Of course, we will reverse it also. We will use the left leg also as the leading leg going forward, changing weight with right, and then left leg going back, change weight with right. Yeah? So in this case, the left leg is the leading leg and the right leg is the following leg. Okay? Good. Now I'm going to show you from the side, because we need to remember a few technical considerations to do this movement correctly. First of all, starting zero position, and then place your hip correctly, tilt it inwards. Then bend your knees, okay? Flex your knees like this, relax them. Then remember the phases of the step, yeah? That you start by opening the free leg, then push and slide, push with the standing leg and slide with the free leg, then change weight, transfer the weight, and then close your free leg. So open, push and slide, change weight, close. Open, push and slide, change weight, close. Okay? The next thing I want you to try is that after you go forward, when you are going to close the back leg, try to point the toes down. Try to keep the leg open as long as you can, and then keep the toes pointed down. And then change weight. When you are going back with the leading leg, yeah, then also try to point the toes back, down, yeah, like this. Don't go back like this. It's not wrong, but right now, let's try to work more with our feet, yeah, with our foot joint. So when you're going back, point the toes down and then change the weight, yeah? So again, knees flexed, then go forward, point the toes down on the back foot, change weight, and then point the toes down on the leg that is going down, back, okay? The next thing I want you to try, if you want, to make the exercise more complete, is to use dissociation. I will show you from the front first. So when you are going forward, yeah, the torso turns slightly towards the leg that is going forward. Yeah? So this leg or this leg. Yeah? Always towards the leg that is going forward. When you change weight and you go back, the torso turns towards the leg that stays forward. Okay? This is dissociation. Forward and back. Yeah? So if I show you from behind, if your active leg is the right leg, that means the right leg is now going forward, the torso goes to the right. Yeah? Be careful, don't make this movement with the shoulders. Don't do it like this. This torsion has to come from as low as possible, just above your waist. Yeah? You remember the exercise we do in the warm-up? This one? Well, that's why we do it, because then we can use this dissociation, yeah, from the waist. And then change weight, your torso is neutral, and then you go back with the right leg, and the opposition, the dissociation, is to the left, because that's the leg that stays forward, yeah? So, right and left. Of course, if your active leg is the left one, you go left forward, then your dissociation is to the left, because that's the leg that's forward. And then you change weight, and then when you go back with left, your torso goes to the right, because that's the leg that stays forward. Okay? So try to incorporate all these elements when you do the exercise. So we are going to do it first using the right leg to go forward and then the left leg. But if you are mirroring the image, you can use the other leg, it doesn't matter because we will use both. Okay? And we're going to use the metronome for the exercise. Now, for the ones who missed the explanation of the first class, the reason why I use the metronome is very simple. There are two reasons. First is because I cannot have tango music in the videos, otherwise I will get copyright strikes and the videos might be taken down. It has happened to me in the past. And I don't want to use non-tango music for the tango exercises because I find that it doesn't fit. The second, and for me personally more important, is that the metronome is the best method, hands down, to improve the precision of your timing. Ask any musician, any drummer, any performer who needs to improve the precision of and be very precise with timing. They work with metronomes for hours. And there is no reason why us dancers cannot have the same discipline and use the metronome to improve the timing of our legs. So, as always, I set my metronome to 58 BPM and 2 beats per bar. And yeah, try to be precise. Try to step exactly when you hear the beat of the metronome. So let's going to do it 16 times on one side, starting with the right leg. So remember, place your hip, bend your knees, put your weight on the left leg and go forward with the right. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now let's do the other side. Zero position, bend your knees, place your hip, put your weight on the right, and start with left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, good. Easy enough, but not so easy if you really pay attention to every little technical detail. The toes, the dissociation, okay? So, this was the basic structure. Now we are going to put all kinds of crosses inside here. Let's do it in the next block. Okay, for this exercise, every time we go forward with one leg, whichever it is, we will cross back with the other. Okay? Cross back. This is the first cross we're going to use. And then we will uncross the other foot and then go back and change weight. Yeah? So it's front, cross back, back, change weight. Front, cross back, back, change weight. Okay? Now, apart from all the technical aspects we discussed in the previous block, the specific technical ideas for this one is that you have to try to make as compact a cross as you can. Don't leave space between your feet. I show you profile because this way you can see it better. Yeah? Try to make a compact cross, yeah? So that the legs touch. For this, it helps to bend the leg that is front, bend the knee, so that then you make space for the leg that is behind. Okay? And if I show you from the front, when you go front, now you have to put the back knee behind the front knee. Don't have both knees visible from the front. This is wrong, because then your feet are on a weird angle on the floor, and it's really hard to get out of here. So the correct way is to place your back knee behind the front knee, so that your legs make an X, yeah? And the center of the X are the knees, so you only see one knee from the front. If I show you from behind, you go front with right, for example, the right is your leading leg, so then you cross back and you put the knee behind the other knee and you bend the knees. And then you uncross the foot. For uncrossing the foot, I show you from the front, remember, don't lift the foot, yeah? Don't do this. Keep the foot on the floor and try to make a very small circle around your standing foot, okay? From the profile, yeah, you just cross. So now keep the foot on the floor and then make a small circle around your standing foot and then go back. If you're a lady and you are wearing high heels, be careful when you uncross that you don't scratch the skin of your standing foot with the heel, yeah? So maybe from you have to lift a little bit the heel, or you have to make a bigger movement, but try not to hurt yourself with your heel, okay? So we will do it 16 times, one side and the other side, okay? And we will do it with a metronome again. 58 BPM and 2 beats per bar. Okay, so get ready, zero position, place your hip, bend your knees, put your weight on the left foot, and we start with right forward. And 1, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross, 4, cross, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now let's do the other side. Zero position, place your hip, bend the knees, flex them, relax the legs, put your weight on the right, and we start with left forward. 1, 2, cross behind, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next exercise. Okay, for the next exercise we will do the opposite. Every time we go back, we will use a cross front. So we will do front, change weight without cross, and then back, cross, front. And cross, front, change weight, back, cross, front. Front, change weight, back, cross, front. Okay? So remember the technical tips: hip placed, knees bent, open, push and slide, change weight, close, and then point the toes. When you are going forward, point the toe on the back foot, then change weight, and when you go back, point the toe with the leading foot. Okay? And if you can, use dissociation. Turn the torso always in the direction of the leg that is front. Okay? And remember the knees. When you cross, you should have only one knee visible from the front. Yeah? Not like this. Okay? So, let's do this with the metronome again. 16 times each side. So, zero position, bend the knees, place the hip, put the weight on the left, and we start with right front. 1, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross, 4, cross, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Now let's do it to the other side. Zero position, place the hip, bend the knees, put your weight on the right, and we start with the left forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cross forward, 6, 7, 8, 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Good. Let's go to the next one. For the next exercise, we're going to use a cross forward when we go forward. So it's going to look like this. You go forward and then you cross forward. And then you go back and you change weight. Okay? Forward, cross forward, back, change weight. Forward, cross forward, back, change weight. Yeah? And remember, if I show you from the front, forward, make a small circle around your standing foot and make a compact cross. All the crosses in these exercises look the same, look always like this. Zero position, legs making an X with the center of the X on your knees, okay? So let's do this one. Metronome again. And let's do it 16 times on each side, okay? Zero position, place your hip, bend the knees, embrace, put your weight on the left leg, and we start with right forward. Forward, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross, 4, cross, 5, cross, 6, 7, 8, 8 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, good. Now let's do the other side. Zero position, place your hip, bend the knees, put your weight on the right, and we start with the left front, and then we cross forward 16 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, good. Let's go to the next one. Okay, for the next one, we're going to use a cross back every time we go back. So it's going to be front, change weight, back, cross back. Yeah? Front, change weight, back, cross back. So here it's very important, again, to keep your knees flexed and then make a small circle around your standing foot with the free foot when you cross back. And bend the standing leg so that you have more space for the back leg to make a compact cross. Yeah? If I show you from behind, you go front, change weight, back, and then cross. Yeah? And then push with your following leg so that the leading leg can go forward again. Okay? So let's do it 16 times to each side. Okay. So zero position, place your hip, bend the knees, put your weight on the left leg, and then we start front with right. 1, cross, 2, cross, 3, cross, 4, cross, 5, cross, 6, cross, 7, cross, 8, And 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now let's do the other side. 0 position, place your hip, and then put your weight on the right leg, and we start with left to the front. 1, cross back, 2, cross back, 3, cross back, 4, cross back, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, very good. So with this one, we finished all the possibilities that we have going back and forth with only one cross. Now in the next block, we're going to see more possibilities using 2 crosses when it gets really interesting. Okay, so for the first exercise with 2 crosses, we will do the following. Every time you go forward, you cross back. And every time you go back, you cross forward. So the structure is step forward, cross back, step back, cross forward, step forward, cross back, step back, cross forward. Okay? So now, let's remember all the technical aspects that we need to think about and take care of when we do this movement. So start with knees relaxed. Yeah? Relax your knees. Then remember the stages of the steps. So we open the free leg, we push with the standing leg and slide with the free leg, we transfer the weight, and then we close the free leg. Okay? Then don't forget to point the toes. When you're going forward, point the toes of the foot that stays back towards the floor. And then point the toes of the foot that is going back to the floor. Yeah? So you go forward, point the toes, you go back, point the toes. Yeah? The next thing is make the cross compact. Yeah? Don't leave the cross half closed. Yeah? Close it completely. And remember, if I show you from the front, remember to place one knee behind the other knee when you cross. Yeah? Don't have both knees showing forward. One knee behind. Your legs should look like an X, and the center of the X is on your knees. Yeah? So, one knee in front of the other. And don't forget also the dissociation. Yeah? If I show you from behind, when you go forward, you turn the torso towards the leg that is going forward. In this case, the leading leg is the right leg. Yeah? And when you are going backwards, the torso turns slightly towards the leg that stays forward. Yeah? If I show you from the front, my torso turns to the leading leg when I go forward, and then to the following leg when I go back, because that's the leg that is forward. Okay? Always to the leg that is forward. And there is one last trick that you need to know for this exercise. If you do your steps forward and back in 2 parallel lines, like you always do when you dance with a partner, every time you cross, the crosses will take you slowly towards the side, and you will end up here. Yeah? So, in order to avoid this, I recommend that your leading leg always crosses the step a little bit in front of the following leg. Not too much, because then you will end up with the opposite problem, going to the other side, but just a little bit. Just put one foot in front of the other, that's enough. So that the following leg can move in a straight line. Yeah? Now the leading leg is going to cross a little bit behind the following leg, so that the following leg moves in a straight line. If I show you from behind, yeah, my leading leg, in this case the right one, goes forward a bit crossed, so that the following leg can move in a straight line. And then the same when I go back. The leading leg crosses a little bit, so that the following leg can move in a straight line. Okay? Good. So let's do this one 16 times with the metronome to both sides. Okay, so get ready, zero position, relax the knees, place your hip, tango embrace, put your weight on the left leg so that you can go forward with the right. Okay? And 1, cross back, and cross forward. 2, cross back, cross forward. 3, cross back, cross forward. 4, cross back, cross forward. 5 and 6, 7, 8 and 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, very good. Let's do the other side. So get ready, zero position, relax your knees, place your hip, tango embrace, and put your weight on the right leg so that you can start forward with the left. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Very good. So let's go to the next exercise. Okay, for the next exercise using 2 crosses, it's going to be like this. Every time you go forward, you will cross forward. And when you go back, you will also cross forward. So 2 crosses forward. Yeah? Step forward, cross forward. Step back, cross forward. Step forward, cross forward. Step back, cross forward. Okay? Now, don't forget the technical things we have been discussing. So, relax your knees, bend the knees. Don't forget to point the toes down to the floor on the foot that stays back. Then make a small circle with your foot around the standing foot, yeah? A small circle around your standing foot. Then change weight. Then don't forget to point the toes also on the foot that is going back. Yeah? And then make a compact cross, yeah? Without space between your feet. and with knees one behind the other. Okay? And also, don't forget, if you can, the dissociation, yeah, in which your torso always turns a tiny bit towards the leg that is forward. Either when you are going forward, towards the leg that's going forward, or when you are going back, towards the leg that stays forward. Okay? The following leg. Okay? So, good, let's do it 16 times with a metronome. Okay, zero position, relax your knees, place your hip, tango embrace, put your weight on the left, and we will go forward with right. 1, cross forward, back, cross forward. 2, cross forward, back, cross forward. 3, cross forward, back, cross forward. 4, cross forward, back, cross forward. 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, very good. Now let's do the other side. So, get ready in zero position, relax your knees, place your hip, tango embrace, put your weight on the right leg, and we start with left front. Okay? And 1, 2, cross forward, back, cross forward. 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, and 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay? Very good. Let's go to the next combination. For the next exercise with 2 crosses, it will be like this. When you go forward, you are going to cross back again, and when you go back, you are also going to cross back. Okay? So it's like this. Step forward, cross back, step back, cross back, step forward, cross back, step back, cross back. Okay? So 2 crosses back this time. Yeah? So don't forget, especially when you're going back, to make a small circle around your standing foot. A small circle on the floor. Yeah? If I show you from behind, you start in zero position, you go forward, you cross back, put your knees one behind the other, and then you go back, and here you make a small circle around your standing foot, and then you cross back. Okay? Good. So, let's make 16 to each side. So, get ready, zero position, flex your knees, place the hip, tango embrace, put your weight on the left, and we start forward with the right. and 1, cross back, back, cross back, 2, cross back, and cross back, 3, cross back, and cross back, 4, cross back, and cross back, 5, cross back, and cross back, 6, cross back, and don't forget dissociation, 7, and 8, and 8 more, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and okay. Now let's do the other side. 0 position, relax knees, place the hip, and don't forget the hip during the exercise, yeah, that's important. Keep it tilted inside, and then tango embrace, put your weight on the right, and we start with left forward. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and okay, great, very good. So the good news is that there is only one exercise left. So let's go to it. Okay, for the last exercise with 2 crosses, we will do this. When you go forward, you will cross forward. And when you go back, you will cross back. So 1 cross forward, 1 cross back. Step forward, cross forward. Step back, cross back. Step forward, cross forward. Step back, cross back. So in this particular combination, your following leg, the leg behind, has the most amount of work, because every time that the leading leg goes forward or back, yeah, the following leg has to go around it, yeah, further in order to reach the cross. Yeah, so when you go back, yeah, the leading leg goes back, the following leg has to go around further, yeah, in order to reach the cross. So here, your following leg is working a lot, doing all these little circles, yeah? It's a very interesting one, okay? So let's do 16 to each side. So get ready, 0 position, relax your knees, place the hip, tango embrace, and put your weight on the left, so you go forward with the right. And 1, cross forward, back, cross back. 2, cross forward, back, cross back. 3, cross forward, back, cross back. 4, cross forward, back, cross back. 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8, and, okay, very good. Let's do the other side. 0 position, relax the knees, place the hip, tango embrace, put your weight on the right so that you go forward with the left. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 8 more. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and, okay, great, very good. So the point is that if you go through all the sequence of exercises that we did today, later when you go dancing, yeah, hopefully soon, you won't have any problem at all with any combination of steps forward or back, with crosses forward or back, in any figure that you might do. Because you will have practiced and you will have gone through every possible combination of what you could do with these movements, okay? And that's the point, that's the advantage. So, thank you for doing this whole thing with me. And also, I want to recommend you, well, as always, go again through the video, repeat the exercises until they feel more or less comfortable, until you can do them remembering every technical aspect that we did today: dissociation, toes, compact crosses, knees, stable steps, yeah, good timing. Also, do it with music if you want. And also, I want to tell you, these classes are not supposed to be like you do it once and then you forget about it. I recommend you to go back to the previous classes. For example, start with the first one and then do those exercises again, because that's what I do. These exercises that I'm showing you, I do them regularly. For example, the balance exercises of class number 1, which you can find easily at the top of the playlist, I do them every week, yeah? Because if you do these exercises of each class just once, then you have no way to see if you are making any progress. So I recommend you to go back to previous classes or find one that you like, and then do those exercises again and see if you feel that the exercises are easier to do. Because that means that you are improving, that you are dancing better, okay? So that was my last tip. Thank you very much, and I will see you very soon in the next class. Bye bye.